Right now, I am in negotiations. We made a feature version of Horror Brunch.
What?
Yeah. We shot it on Super 8, and it was my first feature, and we screwed up bad.
Yeah.
It just is, it's got all of that same humor, which that part of it is really good. And we played at a couple of film festivals. Well, actually, I don't think we ever made it into a film festival, but we would take it to horror conventions, and people really liked it.
Hmm.
But it's rough. It's not. It's shot really well. I had a really good DP, but the audio is terrible. And but I am in negotiations right now with a company whose name I can't remember. I was going to have a little notebook here with that, but
Yeah.
and they might actually release it even as is.
That'd be
Um, yeah, and I think there are people like you guys, that would appreciate it, even though it's really rough and the audio quality is bad. Um, we're doing a little bit to kind of fix it, but I I think, and I've got this distributor that I think, yeah, he thinks that he can do something with it.
yeah.
So that would be really nice if I could get that out there after so many years.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. So when did you shoot that?
We shot that a couple years after, so it must have been, see, Horror Bunch was 86. So yeah, maybe 80, maybe 89 or 90. I don't remember. Yeah, probably 89, I think is when we shot it. Yeah, once we had somebody that this is also a pretty typical story, especially at that time. Um, Somebody saw it and had some money and thought it would be really fun and asked my producer. He knew my producer and said, would you be interested? Could you turn this into a feature? So the same group of us that wrote Horror Brunch, we sat down and figured, what could we do,
Mm.
to expand this? And we essentially took The Big Chill,
Yeah.
and we made a horror version of The Big Chill with the brunch happens at the very end.
All
So
right.
sort of recreated that. But yeah, it's essentially The Big Chill. A group of um, college friends get together for the death of one of their friends,
No.
and they and the body is accidentally brought to the house instead of to the funeral home. And so, bad horror films, you can imagine then what happens.
Yeah. He's like, stuff goes down and
Absolutely.
oh that.
And what is typical is that this guy said, I'll put up the money if you put my wife in the movie. So it's like, okay, well, now we're stuck with his wife. She was actually pretty good. It worked out okay, but
You could be like the funeral director or something. So.
yeah, no, she
Oh,
had
big
to be
part.
in the film.
Oh,
Yeah,
dang.
was not much of an actor,
Yeah.
but we, I did have a very short conversation with the producer, and it was one of those. He always had my back. He's a great guy. He is a great guy. We're still really good friends. And he said, I don't want you to have to, you know, um, compromise your creative vision. And I said, screw compromise. I want the money. I
Yeah.
want to make a movie. So
Exactly.
we just made it work. So
Well, that's a yeah. I kept wondering. It's just like it's like what would you do if you had like if you did a sequel or a full length movie and yeah, yeah. That's just amazing because like there's so many movies I'm sure, but from that back then that were like completed or like probably like 75% shot, and then like funding got pulled or something, and
yeah,
it's
or
just like
in
now the
this
footage is
case,
just sitting around.
in our case, it was just we I learned something that I wish I had learned before I made that movie, and that is that a priority, one of the top priorities, is audio, is recording good audio. And we
Yeah.
just do that. You know, we had a, we essentially handed the boom mic to whoever was free.
Mm.
And I don't even recall that we had a dedicated audio recordist. You know, we had a Nagra recorder, and we would just turn it on,
No.
and you know, somebody would hold the boom, and it's just so the the audio was recorded from too far away a lot, and it just, so we did spend quite a bit of money once we got it transferred um, over. Back then, we transferred it to a 1 inch videotape.
Mm.
Once I did the edit, and I edited the film, I edited on film, and then we tried to go in and fix the audio, and we spent probably a week with, you know, an audio engineer, and there just wasn't anything we can do. It was just recorded badly.
Yeah.
We did some sweetening and we did some fixing, and but and then we couldn't get it released. Like I say, we showed it at some horror conventions at the early, in the early '90s, and people loved it. People who were horror film fans loved it. I mean, you can imagine, you've seen the short version. It's the same kind of thing. We referenced a million horror
No.
films, all the movies that were important to us, and we hung it on this on the Big Chill. So we
Yeah.
used that, you know, so we had a story, and now we could just do anything we wanted. We had a great location. It was an abandoned, semi-abandoned mansion, big 2 story Victorian mansion in the Los Angeles area, and it was in terrible shape. So we just made that the story,
No.
that, you know, that this woman and her husband lived in this dilapidated place and brought all of their, you know, college friends together. And, you know, we did not pretend that it wasn't a horrible, dilapidated, you know, piece of junk house. We
No.
used that as part of the fun.
No.
So,
People.
you know, so we made that for relatively cheap. I think we made it in the $80,000 range.
Dang.
And, you know, at least that one we paid people, and
No.
we had a we had a 12-day shoot on that one.
That's
And
crazy.
yeah, I just wish we had, if we had done the audio, it would have been really good. Um, we have floated. I have floated with a couple of friends of just completely redoing the audio. You know, doing all the ADR brand new.
Yeah.
Um, you know, the big thing is that the music is done by Bill Parsley, who did the music for my 3 shorts.
Oh yeah. He's great.
And right, you can, you've seen him, you understand how important
Yes.
his music is to those movies, and he did the music for that. But I have lost, or I never had maybe possession of the original audio stems, and he passed away a few years ago. And
Mm.
I talked to his um, I talked to his husband, um, you know, I don't know, a couple years after Bill passed, and he said, "Yeah, I've never seen any of his stuff. I don't know where any of it is. So maybe it got thrown away. I don't know what happened. He just, you know, he just, unfortunately, he didn't keep any of it. So that would be
Yeah.
the thing, is that well, it'd be fun to do all the ADR on that and just have some actors come in and redo it. We'd have a good time recreating that music as close to that as possible. I think that might take more money than we have available.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, you know, I know a lot of composers, I know a lot of musicians, but I don't know anybody that wouldn't want to take something like that on. That would be a lot of work to recreate all that, and I'd have to pay them.
Mm.
For,
Yeah. Because like you would have to use
it would have to be, yeah,
like the original instruments that he used or
yes.
the keyboard or
And if I
whatever.
had all the original stems, you know, I would do that in a heartbeat. I would
Yeah.
do all the dialogue and, you know, and all the sound effects, but keep that music. So we'll see. I'm hoping that this distributor will we'll do it and release it as is. I'd be okay with it.
Yeah. Oh, I would love it. And it's because like, because like us horror fans, like, we're kind of like we forgive a little bit more than
Yeah.
some other people. So it's just like, hey, this is what they had at the time, or this is the filmmaking, like 11, what you said, 11, 13 days.
Yeah. Yeah. And, when right after we made it, I had spent the 80s in special effects, but I really wanted, what I really wanted to do was direct.
Yeah.
So I spent so much of that time. In fact, I was so insistent that I was a director that I didn't even take screen credit for a lot of the work that I did in special effects. You know, I might just have to let my 40 something year old horror brunch speak for me.
No, that's fine. Oh, and then you'll have the movie coming out, being hopefully comes out soon, hopefully.
Yep. I I hope yeah, that would be really nice. We're in the process of right now we just need to get this, this old 1 inch video transferred.
Mm.
Unfortunately, living in Los Angeles, there's a couple places that do it, and I took the tape to a video house, and they can do it. It's just it's been sitting for so long that they need time to acclimate it. I don't know. They're telling me all this stuff that they need to do because it's I guess it's kind of brittle now, and
Yeah.
so that's just going to take some money. And right now, the distributor is trying to decide if it's worth doing it. So the producer and I are trying to think maybe we should just do it on our own anyway, and just get it digitized so we have it available.
Yeah.
But
So probably should do, yeah. Might as
and
well
if
just
I
have it.
if I do, I'll let you know.
Exactly. Oh,
And maybe you guys could watch it and be the first ones to talk about
oh, that'd be awesome. I would love that. Because like, yeah, it's like I've always just imagined it's like, man, it's like I wish he would have made like a full length movie of this because I would definitely watch it. So when
it. It's
it's
there.
released, I will
It is
definitely
there.
watch it.
It's I feasibly could go back. I have the Super 8 still. I still have all that. And we feasibly could go right from there.
No.
So we've talked about doing that too. That's way more expensive, but so we'll see. Like I say, I'm in talks with the distributor. He just uh, at right at the end of last year, he bought the distribution rights to Dark Crimes, this one here,
Yeah.
um, and that's going to be coming out pretty soon. That's been sitting for a long time. It's not a horror film, but it's um, but so when he asked if there was anything else, and I told him about this, and he said, there might be a market even for a
Oh
you
yeah.
know sort of a crappy horror film. So
And people were like, because like I know like there was like one like called like New York Ninja that Vinegar Syndrome released, and like they had to redub all the audio. But it's like yeah, just kind of like that lost media,
yeah,
that everyone loves, and just like oh like because people are just constantly trying to look for a movie that they've never heard of. And it's like
yeah,
oh
and
here's a movie that's never been released,
it
and
is. I kind of thought that with streaming and all that kind of stuff, that everything was going to go away, but people are still holding on strong to physical media,
yeah,
and people are really, they're wanting to keep it, and so just like vinyl records have come back,
oh
from
yeah,
what we thought was going to be extinction. Um, so yeah, I'm glad that people are discovering these things and that they want to find this stuff. So there could be, and I'm not even worried about making money on it. That's not for me. It's way beyond that. I just don't want to go too much out of pocket
yeah,
myself to get it there. So if this distributor is willing to put up the money to do that, and then um, not pay us much, I mean, we got to be paid a little something, or it's uh, just embarrassing.
yeah.
But
Exactly.
even if we got 5 or 10 grand for it, and then he put in another 20, or so to get it all up and running. He could be in, for under 50,000, and I suspect he could make his money back,
No,
on that, and he thinks so too. So we shall see. We could see the feature version of Horror Brunch one of these days.
that'd be awesome.
Now that we're talking about it, it makes me even more excited about doing it. So I might light a fire under my producer's butt and see
Yeah.
if we can get that going.
Especially right now, September, October coming up, people are gonna be looking for it.
Yeah, I couldn't do it for now, but for next year, for
Yeah, just
sure.
at least get the ball rolling and
Yeah.
really get the fires burning. So
Yeah.